missed call. I said, what in the world? It's God. Hey, it's me.
I love that soundbite from Cam Newton. He is back in Carolina. The QB returned home today and spent time with the QB coach at the practice facility.
Yeah, this is right after passing his physical and then, of course, signing his contract yesterday.
WFNY News 2's Amanda Ferguson joins us to walk us through that phone conversation between head coach Matt Rhule and Cam.
It was a life-changing phone call for Cam Newton. He got the call Tuesday night from Panthers head coach Matt Rhule. He actually missed the call. They eventually talked, and Cam tells us about that conversation.
You know, when we talked, it was very exhilarating to just, you know, hear his voice. And, you know, I'm in a position now, man, that it could easily just be, you know, about Cam, like da 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 da. It's not that type of vibe, man. You know, I'm happy to be here. I want everybody to know that I'm happy, but bruh, it's time to win. We got a big game coming up. And, you know, as far as that goes, it's a must win.
So what was he doing to miss that life-changing phone call from Matthew Rhule? Cam says he's been disconnected. He hasn't really been on social media at all, even paying attention to football this year. He says his main focus is being a dad right now, a full-time dad. But that conversation was on Tuesday. And you know what Tuesday is? Cam said it was Taco Tuesday. That's the reason he missed the phone call.
Food is the priority. Hey, I think we all understand that.
Absolutely.
Very relatable.
Yeah, so cool. And, you know, his big, it seems like he must have said accountability during that interview 12 times. So that's like his thing. He said, I got to hold myself accountable and the rest of the team as well. And he's really focused now. And I'll tell you, he's a character, right? So he jokes a lot. But his attitude today was way more humble and focused than I've ever seen him before. So.
I did hear some of those jokes during the Zoom, but accountability, that was the main topic. This is not all about him coming back to Carolina. It's about him just trying to make a difference and be a part of this team.
And I bet it just has to be a great feeling. I'm sure we've all been there where you're waiting on that call like for a job, and it really is life-changing, and it's just like, yes, it's finally here.
And he's a competitor. He's got to get back in the saddle, you know?
Yeah, and he was talking about it too, like, let's not talk about the past. That's irrelevant. We got to work on today and now, and like he just mentioned, we got to get those wins.
Yeah, a lot of people were trying to stir. Amanda, did you hear what they were trying to? They were stirring the pot a little bit and trying to ask him about his feelings that he was let go, now he's back, and he wasn't having that.
No, and he didn't even want to talk about the future. He just wants to win ball games and just get this thing going.
That's good. Well, people love him, that's for sure.
It's an exciting time right now.
It's a big deal. All right, so now is your chance to see Cam back in action in Carolina because we are giving away 2 tickets on 2. It's your chance to win tickets to see the Panthers play in person.
Our second winner is Gladys Adams from Burlington, and Gladys gets to see the Panthers kick off against the Washington football team on the 21st.
Yep, we still have 2 more drawings. First, go to WFNYnews2.com, and all you have to do is just look right there for the story that says Play and Score Carolina Panthers tickets on WFNY News 2. You click on that story once you're in there, then click on the link that says Play 2 tickets on 2 trivia here. There are 5 Panthers trivia questions there.
And what's nice is you can play as many times as you like. The more you play, the better your chances are to win. For this upcoming drawing, you have until 6:30 next Monday night to win tickets to the Panthers game against the Atlanta Falcons on December 12th.
Once trivia closes, you'll need to watch WFNY News 2 at 11 to see who wins. Now, this is the 3rd of 4 ticket giveaways, so you have one more chance to win. Log on to WFNYnews2.com and play Panthers trivia for your chance to win 2 tickets on 2.
So here is a great story. A Greensboro native is catching national attention for his buzzer beater heard around the sports world. Take a look at this video. JP Mormon, who used to play basketball at Greensboro Day School, helped his team UC Riverside pull off an upset over Arizona State. With just a single second left on the clock, Mormon is given the ball. The buzzer blares and Mormon throws the ball from behind the half-court line. The shot helped UC Riverside win 66-65. I had to watch that video a couple times because it happened so fast. And you know, when you go to games and people throw it like that, it usually never makes it.
Right, and that was a 3/4
Yes.
length shot. It was unbelievable.
And it just went straight in.
Oh gosh, you can just
imagine?
see like the crowd they don't move. So you know that they're just standing there like
everybody's standing up.
The announcers were hilarious in this
Shocked.
clip when you listen to it, because he goes, and you just don't want to foul, and there's the shot.
Yeah.
They're both thinking it's over. And he
Yeah.
goes, no!
Yeah.
He started screaming.
I mean, there's so many games where people just go like this and it doesn't make it. So that was really awesome.
I love buzzer beaters. That's so much fun to watch. Well, good for him, too.
Fun.
And with ties to us right
Yeah,
here in the Triad.
Greensboro.
Very good. All right, let's check the forecast and see what's happening as we head into the weekend here. I'm going to step out just for a moment and grab my little remote control that I forgot. Typical Chilton. Here's what's going on with temperatures across the area. We are in the 60s for the most part, kind of that 66, 67 degree range. That's for Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and High Point. Lexington, 68 along with Albemarle. To the north, 65 in Martinsville. Galax is at 58 degrees. Now, we're getting chilly, right? We've talked about this for a while, that we're going to see a cool down for the next couple of days. But next week, we'll warm it back up. So here's your short term, 42 for tonight. That's not bad, right? We've seen some 30s, and we will get there again, by the way. But mostly clear and breezy. Still breezy tomorrow, probably partly sunny with a high temperature. Now we're into the 50s, so that 59 degree reading for tomorrow. Overall, when you look across the region, we are clear for now. I want to go out to a wider shot. You can see one front already moved by. That's off the coast. Here comes another one, but this one's kind of weak. Most of the energy with this system is more to the north, and we think that'll pass by without much of a problem for us. If you look at it on our futurecast here, you see the winds that will start picking up. The next system, this high pressure, will move into place, but we're watching. That is a really fast-moving low pressure center and the cold front that could be moving by Sunday evening and as we head into Monday as well. So tonight, again, that low at 42. Let's look at our 7-day forecast. And after 42, we'll pop back up to 59 for Saturday. Sunday's 55, and look at that morning low Sunday morning, 33 degrees. Then 52 on Monday. We're back up again, 56 Tuesday. Sunshine and 63 and 67, not bad for Wednesday, Thursday. And by Friday, chance of a shower slips in. It's only a 30% with a high of 59.
Our state's vaccination rate is still crawling slowly upward, even though children ages 5 to 11 are now eligible to get the vaccine. 56% of our state's total population has now been fully vaccinated. 60% have had at least one dose. Our percentages are up by 1 percentage point since last week, when we had only 59% of the population with at least one dose. For families wanting to get their child vaccinated, there are plenty of opportunities to do so, and we've made a list of all available clinics coming up. You can access that list by texting the word KIDS to 336-379-5775, and we'll send the link straight to your phone.
Many people don't like being stuck by a needle. Reports show 25% of Americans are afraid of them, but for some folks, the fear, it's more extreme. Trypanophobia, or needle phobia, is an anxiety disorder that can cause symptomatic extreme responses like fainting, sweating, or rapid heartbeat. As health experts continue to push for COVID and flu vaccinations, the fear can cause vaccine hesitancy. Robert Merlin is the director of Merlin Center for Hypnosis and Enlightenment in Greensboro. He says hypnotherapy can help others overcome a fear of needles with just a few sessions. He says the first step is learning how to distract your mind.
What I would normally do is I'm going to find out something that that person likes, like maybe they love to water ski. Then I'm going to have them think about water skiing and the best time that they ever had in their life when they were water skiing, that event. Get them in that event under hypnosis, which amplifies the emotions around that. And then we call it anchoring. Well, when you do that while someone is about to get the injection or they're in that office, they're not even thinking about it anymore. They're actually involved with that memory and it distracts them.
Merlin says he then provides the patient with breathing techniques to help relax the entire body.
The third thing is the muscle relaxation. If I tense up my arm and someone gives me an injection, it is going to hurt. So if my body is completely relaxed and my mind is distracted onto something that I enjoy, it's almost like the event's not happening, and it makes it so much easier.
So he says this kind of hypnosis for, fear of needles, it can be done in a couple sessions. But he says, say you're not interested in seeing a professional just yet, he recommends, maybe taking a picture of your family or a fond memory with you to your appointment, or, try looking away from the needle, or practicing some breathing exercises you may have learned in yoga or something.
So it's interesting. When I was for years, I
Yeah.
was skeptical, right? I was like, does hypnosis really work? Like, is that really happening? And then when I was in high school and I was in governor's school, they had a hypnotherapist who was on staff there who did some demonstrations. I have never, the guy that he put under, he took him back to his 5-year-old birthday party.
Wow.
And,
Oh my gosh.
and he's talking, and all of us, I know this guy, he's not an actor, he wasn't that kind of guy, you know? And when he brought him back, he said, oh my gosh, he goes, I was seeing my house the way it used to be, the way my mom and dad looked when I was 5 years old. He said all that is in your mind, but you just have to be able to get through all of it to pull it out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I used to be a skeptic, but actually knew girls that were on my cheerleading squad that would have mental blocks when they wanted to do tumbling passes, and they would go see someone like this, and then the next day they come back to practice and be able to do that tumbling pass that they were so mentally worried about.
It works.
It's really cool what we can train the mind to do. Like he says, he sees a lot of people for, you know, weight loss or diet, getting over smoking, nail biting, all types of stuff.
All right,
I
I'll make
believe-
my appointment then. Because I got a list of things I got to talk to you about, pal. All right, we're coming right back. Take a short break. We'll see you in a couple. You know, America's love affair with cars goes back decades. It seems like everybody has kind of that sentimental favorite that brings back the memories for them, a certain car or a certain make or model. Well, Kyle Petty has a new show now called Dinner Drive with Kyle Petty that combines cars and food and then ends up with a personal peek into the lives of both athletes and entertainers. Pretty cool. Take a look.
The best way to get to know someone better is over a little food. So I'm hitting the road to catch up with some friends to hear their life stories, and you're invited.
Kyle, you're a busy man. You always have been. Thank you for taking a few minutes out today. All right, so I want to know how this idea came about. How did you start this show?
Well, during the pandemic, you're sitting at home, you don't have anything to do, and you start to come up with crazy ideas. So my crazy idea was, let's use a car to open the door to have a conversation with someone, and not just any car, a sentimental car. So that's why we call it Dinner Drive. We talk about the car first. Was it your parents' car, the car you rode to school in, your grandparents' car, your first car, whatever it may be, and then we talk about your life. So it was crazy idea that, you know how it is. It's like the pet rock. Somebody bought it, and once they bought it, then it was my job to get it done. So that's what I've been doing.
All right, well, if we talk about this, then I have to ask you, what's your all-time favorite car? Can you do that? Can you pick one?
Yes, I can. And that's my favorite moment on this show, to be honest with you. My favorite car was, I was 9 years old when they rolled the 1970 Superbird in here at Level Cross, and was going to make a race car out of it. And, you know, just put a man on the moon, and I'm thinking, man, cars are going to be flying. This thing's got a wing on it. And they turned it into a race car. My dad won races with it. Pete Hamilton won races with it. It is still the most fascinating car to me in the world. I tell people all the time, when I was 10, I'd already been to the top of Mount Everest as far as automobiles go, and it was the Superbird.
There it is.
Remember?
Do I remember it? You can't forget this thing. This car still makes my heart stop.
On the episode I did with my dad, he actually let me drive it. The first time he's ever let me drive that car. I had ridden on the floorboard a couple of times, but the first time he let me drive it. So that's my favorite moment.
Very
Oh, I
cool.
love it.
Love this concept.
It was fascinating to talk to him about this. And one thing that, so in the next half an hour, we're going to let you kind of listen to Kyle talk about all the people that he interviewed and what they said. But one of the things that was neat is he said these celebrities have sentimental cars and they're not real valuable. They're not the most expensive ones. It's just something that means something to them. So Pitbull, who he hung out with for a while, his car was a 1976 Ford Pinto, which was a horrible car, and I was going, why would he? Like, they even took it off the market. They were dangerous. They were fires and all. They recalled them, and he said his story is pretty heartwarming as to why he likes it. So we'll tell that in the next half hour.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? Do you all remember MTV Cribs?
Yes.
Where you got to
Yes,
see
yes.
the inside of their homes, but now we're seeing their cars and still learning more about their life. And I'm excited to see what celebrities that we get to meet for this season.
It's so cool, and so we'll show you a bunch of those coming up in just a minute.
I saw Darius Rucker in there.
Yes.
Big fan.
You're a big fan? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had a really good story. He loves Charleston. That's his city. And so he was telling Kyle, I don't know if you noticed, there was like oysters Rockefeller or something he
Yeah.
was eating in one of the shots.
Looked good.
Because Charleston's a food city, right? Incredible food.
Oh, so good.
And he said they ate their way through the city.
Oh, I love it. This is going to be a really cool
Yeah,
show.
love
neat-
this concept.
Neat show. It's on Circle Network, and we've got more information on the web story on WFNYnews2.com. We'll see you.
It's a partnership that will make your ears perk up. Maxie B's Bakery teaming up with Guilford County Animal Services. Each week, bakers visit the adoptable dogs to give them a special treat sprinkled in with some ear scratches. This is just a taste of a Tuesday at Guilford County Animal Services.
It's seriously the cutest thing ever.
Each adoptable pup gets to chow down on a pup cake thanks to Maxie B's Bakery in Greensboro.
All the dogs just go crazy for them.
It's gone on for a couple years now. The bakery makes these special treats and delivers them to the dogs. Based on the barks and wagging tails, I'd say they like them.
It's not like your typical dog treat either, so it's not like a milk bone or a dry kibble. It's a cupcake, right? It's a pup cake. I mean, like, come on. You can't go wrong with that.
Each pup cake is baked with molasses, carrots, blueberries, oats, flaxseed, and of course, a lot of TLC.
I love animals, so it always makes my heart happy. Some of these dogs have come from very troubled situations or just scary situations. Being able to have that interaction and be able to help them just a little bit, it's great, and we love it so much.
The perfect recipe for a partnership started for the pets, but also impacts the people and the community.
It's unique partnerships like with Guilford County Animal Services and Maxie B's just highlights the possibility and the potential when two different businesses, public and private, join forces for the greater good.
Oh, it just warmed my heart being there. I got to feed one of the dogs a pup cake, but you could just tell, like, when people come in there to see them, they're so happy, and then they realize, oh, and I get a treat too, and it's not just like a normal treat, it's a pup cake. Aww. It was the sweetest thing.
You got to feed some of them, right, yourself too? Oh.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you didn't take one home with you.
Oh,
that
I know.
Dog right off the top.
The one, okay, and I have to mention the one at the very end, his name is Brownie, and he's been at the shelter for a long time, so he needs a forever home. I'm just putting that out there, If you want a dog, I think Brownie might be a good option.
No, Brownie, I am in, search of a dog. It was on my vision board.
He was very sweet and a good boy.
I love dogs. I grew up with a ton of them, and I love it. We don't have one now. We lost ours a couple years ago, and so my wife and I talk about that because it's just responsibility. I mean, you have
Huge
to.
responsibility.
It's a big responsibility, but you're right. When you see them in those cages, it is all you can do not to take them home.
Oh, I know. They were so sweet. And these pup cakes too, anyone can really make them at home. They're really simple, or you can go to Maxie B's and grab some, and they're healthy and good for the dogs.
I was just about to say that seems healthy. It was blueberries, oats. What else?
Flaxseed,
Is there molasses,
blueberries,
carrots. Let's be honest, that sounds good to us too.
It does, and they look good too. Hopefully you don't get them confused with regular cupcakes.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd try it, but maybe, hey.
So I have a relative who shall remain nameless, who once we had purchased ice cream for dogs, that.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
I can't remember what it's called. There's a name, anyway. And they ate it and thought it was regular ice cream, but we checked and they said, oh, it won't hurt you, but it was designed.
What did it taste like,
They said it was like, this is really bad, it's not good. It was called Frosty Paws. That was the name of it.
Yeah.
And this person ate it.
Side note, this might be going a little off topic. When I was growing up, I had some neighbors that used to eat dog biscuits.
Oh, I've heard of people doing that.
And I would go over there to play, and he'd be like, you want to try this? And I'm like, this is like a thing?
They ate the dog biscuits?
Were the kids doing it or like the
No, it was
adults?
the kids doing it.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the adults.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Have a milk bone.
My mom would not have that.
Yeah, that won't be happening.
Okay, well.
I just want a picture
I said it was a little off topic, but it just.
I love that.
Now, these are dog treats I think you could actually eat.
Yeah, that's good. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll check Lauren's desk for milk bones, and we'll be right back.
Mike check, Jalen, it's round 2 of the high school football playoffs, and there's still 18 triad teams looking to leave their mark on history. They said to get a little interference. We're here at Dudley. It's round 2 of the high school football playoffs. It's round 2 of the high school football playoffs. It's round 2 of the high school football playoffs, and we're It might have been my antenna. It might have been bent up a little bit. Does that sound better? Does this sound better yet? Does that sound better yet? Does that sound better? There we go. It's round 2 of the high school football playoffs, and there's still 18 triad teams looking to leave.
It's Friday, so you know what that means.
Yeah, Friday, our
It's
favorite
football.
day. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm just so excited.
We're just excited about football.
It's time for another preview of our game of the week. WFNY News 2's Jalen Gilkey is live. Jalen, this isn't an ordinary Friday.
Yeah, it's round 2 of the high school football playoffs, and there's still 18 triad teams looking to leave their mark on history. Now, tonight's game of the week features 2 of those teams. We're here at James B. Dudley High with the Panthers. They're hosting Ledford tonight at 7:30. Now Dudley, they're 10-1 on the season, and their only blemish came up in Durham when they visited 4A Hillside. Last week in the first round, the boys beat down North Henderson 60-0 and are looking to continue their march to their 7th state championship in program history. The last came in 2016, led by now Tennessee Volunteer quarterback and last week's SEC Offensive Player of the Week, Hendon Hooker. And as for the Panthers from Ledford, they're 8-3 on the year after avenging a Week 7 loss last week against their bitter rivals from Central Davidson. Ledford is looking to keep it rolling and make their first state championship appearance in program history. The Ledford offense has been lighting the scoreboard up all year, averaging 31 points per game this season. And we're expecting a high-scoring affair here tonight. Again, kickoff is at 7:30 between Ledford and Dudley. Winner advances to round 3.
Jalen, thank you. And don't forget, you can catch the Fever tonight on WFNY News 2 at 11.
We'll be right back.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together.
And sorry, our prompter is getting out of order, but we now want to get to our top story for this half hour. A woman charged for the death of an 11-year-old child after flipping a car in Yadkin County.
Deputies say Shonda Rose Stiers veered off Courtney Huntsville Road, hitting a mailbox in a tree before the car flipped. There were 2 passengers in the car, an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old. Deputies say the 11-year-old child was not properly restrained and died at the scene. The 7-year-old had minor injuries that did not require hospitalization. The Yadkin County Superintendent identified the student who died as Madison Stiers, a 5th grader at Courtney Elementary School. Yadkin County Schools is mourning 2 students' deaths in the same week. Forbush High School student Nora Smitherman was shot to death at a home in Yadkinville. Another Forbush High School student is accused of killing her, but investigators haven't explained why the shooting took place. The 17-year-old boy is charged with second-degree murder and makes another court appearance next week.
More protection is in place at Weaver Academy, this after multiple car crashes in the area within the past few months. Newly installed metal poles separate the academy from traffic. 3 cars have crashed into the school building. Parents say the intersection near the school is dangerous and requested action from the city. The traffic barriers are part of the city's plan in addition to new signs coming soon.
The North Carolina Forest Service says the wildfire at Sarahtown Mountain in Stokes County is staying at about 25 acres. Rain last night helped to contain that fire. The blaze has tripled in size since Wednesday. There are some houses at the base of the mountain, but officials say they are not in danger at the moment. Because the mountain is steep, officials have to rely on aircraft to dump water. Right now, they're focusing on putting out the hot spots. Fire crews are expected to stay through the weekend.
We've got some cooler air starting to move in. You will notice big differences really in the short term as we head into the night tonight, and definitely by Sunday morning, some really cooler air moving in. We'll say goodbye to some of these 60s. These are current readings right now. High Point, you're at 65 there in the Furniture City. Burlington 68, Winston-Salem 67 along with Walnut Cove. Hey, Reedsville at 66. Same reading in Greensboro and Mount Airy at 64. All right, tonight going down to the low 40s. Still a little bit chilly there, but not too bad. The breeze will make it feel even cooler, so we'll be breezy not only tonight, but also tomorrow. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 59 degrees. Let's show you in between 2 systems right now. There's the front that brought us the rain yesterday, and then as we look at this now, what's left of this front will be moving on to the east, but we don't think it'll do very much for us except maybe a couple of extra clouds. That's it. Here's how the timing works out. We'll say goodbye to that front. This front is kind of weakening, breaking apart. Again, no real consequence for us, but we stay breezy heading into your Saturday. Now, by Sunday, this kind of diving cold front will move through rather quickly. We could see overnight lows, in fact, should see them flirting with the freezing mark by the time we get to your Sunday morning. Here's what it looks like. 59 tomorrow, partly cloudy, sunny on Sunday, but a morning low of 33, a high 55, 52 on Monday, a few extra clouds, then sunshine to partly cloudy, 56 Tuesday, and low to mid 60s for Wednesday and Thursday.
The country of Portugal is prioritizing work-life balance by putting new laws in place. The newest law grabbing attention is a requirement preventing employers from contacting workers after their shift is done. There are some expectations though, or some exceptions, excuse me, but in most cases employers could be fined for contacting employees after hours. It's a concept picking up steam across the seas.
Other countries in the European Union, like France, have gone a step farther and also have said that employees also have a right to disconnect from work entirely, so they can disconnect their mobile devices, their laptops, or other work equipment when they're not on the clock.
Experts say the goal is to attract new talent as more people relocate around the world thanks to remote work. Now, I think this concept is pretty cool, but considering we work in news, we are always on the clock. We are always on call.
Yeah, I mean, I think that yes, and part of it is a good idea because you've got to have that work-life balance, and maybe in that country they're not doing a good job and this is their way of tackling that, but there are jobs that sometimes you do have to call. Like I'm thinking about nurses and doctors and people in news that are on call a lot of the time.
I mean, even if you think about just an average job, there are times you'll have to do stuff when it's after hours. But I do understand, and they say phone call, right, Lauren? Did they talk about reaching out in any fashion, emails or any of that?
It just said contacting them, you could be fined. So I guess there probably are some rules or policies in place depending on the severity of the situation.
Because I almost feel like it's unrealistic to think that you can't ever reach out to an employee in the off hours. Sometimes you have to, but it would be good if that were limited. I agree.
But I think I understand the concept of it, because if you think about it, you can flourish in other aspects of your life if you're not always thinking about work, or you'll be happier to come to work if you're not feeling bogged down by, oh, here comes my job calling me. So I think that's the purpose, to just have a, you know, overall well-rounded employee.
Yeah, well, let us know what you think on Facebook. Well, how can you distinguish between good, healthy thoughts and bad thoughts? Today on U-Day, Coach Lamont says it's time for all of us to become the gardeners of minds and remove the mental weeds that may be growing.
Whose thoughts are planted in your mind? Now, I ask this question because so many of the thoughts that I found myself dwelling on at times were thoughts I adopted, not thoughts I formed. See, I allowed the minds of other people to become my mind. And when that happened, I found myself limiting my own creativity. See, I believe that minds are like gardens. There are some weeds that look innocent, but those weeds grow and are never planted by the gardener. In an effort to protect the right growth, the weeds must be removed because the nutrients needed for the right plants to grow are stolen by the weeds that are there. Now is the time, my friend, to remove the weeds, those weed thoughts planted by others, and focus on the thoughts you planted. A weed may look innocent and it may also look like a plant, but remember, a weed is still a weed. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U-Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, I'll get it
I'll
started.
just jump right in.
I'll get it started. No, I really can relate to this. You know, sometimes you got to just weed out those other thoughts. I think about my journey to news. It was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to pursue journalism. And I had family members that were like, you know, you should be a lawyer. You're a great writer. You're a great speaker. And their intentions might have been well, but I was like, you know, I'm going to pursue what I want. And when I decided what I wanted to do, life was just so much more peaceful.
I like the one line where he says, sometimes a weed can look like a flower, you know, which is so true. And then some things that you think are what you need to be doing are not necessarily what you need.
Yeah, I really love this analogy, thinking about, you know, I think this can apply in so many aspects of life. You want your life to be this beautiful garden, but you've got to pick out the bad things in there to make it better.
You know, I think also one thing that I always notice with all of his messages, not just today's, is the fact that I love the fact that he'll have kind of a double meaning. You know what I mean? Like he'll lead you down one path and then there's the aha moment. Coach Lamont is so good at that. And to me, that's kind of like life. I know there were times, we've talked about this before, I said where I thought I might be jumping ship and heading all the way across the country at one point in my life and going all the way to LA and just see what I can do. And then life leads you in another direction that ends up better than what you thought. So
Absolutely.
you got to pay attention.
Got to keep your options open, your mind open.
True.
Hey, I'm always a big believer that I make plans, God laughs, and he leads me in the right direction.
That's very true.
He's looking at you like, that's not what's going to happen.
That's not what I had in mind for you. Very good. All right, good U-Day moment today.
This street art has a message. Be kind. Artist Jason Naylor paints walls all across the country with one purpose.
When people see my work, when they walk by it, I want them to feel joy. I want it to kind of pull them from their troubles.
Kindness doesn't have to be this big of a gesture. It can be something much simpler.
We found that some of the simplest things are seen as the kindest, the most effective things to do. Simple things like just checking in with someone and asking how they're doing, surprising someone with their favorite things.
All right, guys, so Saturday is World Kindness Day, and I love the idea of everybody doing some act of kindness all in one day.
Yeah, I love that idea. You know, just the smallest thing, you know, just saying hello to somebody, a stranger, can really brighten up their day.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that you should always be kind to everyone that you come in contact with, because you never know what they may be going through. And if you say something that hurts them, you don't know how much that can trigger them. So I just always try to treat people with kindness.
Yeah, the ripple effect works both ways, right? Good and bad. You do something bad, that's going to ripple out in other ways, and you do something good, and better things happen.
That's true. All right, so sometimes an act of kindness just happens, right? Like you open up a door for someone, or you give that smile or whatever, you buy them their favorite snack. But there's the idea that we should plan kindness, that we should be very forward thinking and thinking to themselves, this is a way I can be kind to this person. So you are specific.
I don't see
I
anything
don't
wrong
see-
with that.
yeah.
I think that's good.
I think that maybe thinking it out is actually could be better because you can actually have an impact on that person because you'll specifically know what they need.
Plus, you don't. Everybody's so busy. I hate to say it, but you may have to plan a little kindness to have it fit in the schedule.
Yeah,
like
that's very
volunteering
true.
work
Yeah.
and all
So
that kind
true.
of stuff.
Okay, so there was a survey about planning kindness. I want you to check this out. It's from kindness.org and Verizon. And Americans listed their acts of kindness, like covering a shift for a worker, cheering up a family member, or calling a friend to encourage them. And get this, it makes you feel better when you're kind.
It's been shown to lower blood pressure, to reduce social anxiety, and to boost our immune systems. There's also research showing that helpful people are healthier and live longer.
All right, so kindness, it's a win-win all the way around. Goodness knows we all need to reduce our anxiety, right?
That's for sure.
Amen.
Sometimes my breathing's not cutting it. We got to do more.
Right, okay. And I was thinking about kids, actually, with kindness, that you would have to say, you know, sister, how can you be kind to your brother? Brother, how can you be kind to your sister? And actually make it something that's intentional.
That's very true. Or you could just do like I do and go, leave her alone. That's what I say to Tyler
That
all
works
the time.
too.
That works as well. All right, so it's World Kindness Day tomorrow, everyone. But remember, kindness is appropriate any day of the week. So be kind, pass it on.
So earlier in the show, we talked with Kyle Petty about his new show, Dinner Drive with Kyle Petty. Now, this combines our love of food and cars. Pretty good there. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? Each episode features a different celebrity, and they talk about their favorite sentimental car. It may not be the most expensive, but something that means something to them. And they even take Kyle to their favorite eatery. It gives you a real look into the person behind the name. I spoke with Kyle about some of his favorite moments from the show.
You gotta put that window down. Gotta let some of that good Miami heat.
So tell me about how the show works. Now you're going out with people in not only in sports world but entertainment world, right? And kind of picking their brain about cars.
Yeah, we tried to divide it up. You know, obviously motorsports was low hanging fruit. So I did, my dad, Mario Andretti, did Dale Jr. first because he's a little bit of a neighbor, and I knew if we messed up on the first production, we'd be able to go back and do it again. He'd let us do it again. But we did, Darius Rucker, did Pitbull, did Ric Flair, did Herschel Walker. So I tried to do sports, entertainment, and some motorsports. And basically we sat down. Dale Jr.'s his most favorite car was an '88 Chevy S10 pickup. He drove it to high school. He used to go eat pizza in it, lay out, watch the airplanes land, and watch the stars. Got his first kiss in it, that kind of thing. And then we just talk about Dale Jr.'s career, his life, being married now, having 2 children, how that's changed him.
The home that you live in now has like more love in it, right?
Darius Rucker, how Charleston is such a part of his life. Mario Andretti, how he spent, 6 or 7 years in a refugee camp, which was fascinating to me. I never knew that. Davis Love, who said, if his dad hadn't have been a golfer, he'd have been a professional fisherman.
And this girl said, where are you gonna go to college? I said, I'm gonna go to North Carolina, and then I'm gonna play on the PGA Tour. And they, you are not. You're not gonna play on the PGA Tour.
So it's a cool entree into their lives.
Kyle, this is great. We'll be watching, man. All the Triad are fans of you guys, so thanks for taking time with us today. All right, so I asked you about your favorite Triad diner, because in some of these cases they were going to diner-style eateries. We have a lot of those around the area, so here's what you had to say today. Jaffa said, Plaza Cafe can't beat the 3-egg omelets there. David said Randy's restaurant in Lexington, great food and good service. Janice said Carolina's Diner at Quaker Village. I have to go there because a lot of people were talking about this and I'm not familiar. She said great food, staff is always smiling. That's good. Monty said we just ate this morning at Sunrise Diner in Thomasville, great food. Then Scott said, and I just went to this place a couple weeks ago, the Sage Mule on Battleground in Greensboro has absolutely the best breakfast around and very good vibes. And our own Julie Luck, I had to post this one because she said I miss Smith Street Diner, and so do I. That was probably my favorite diner, and the biscuits were about that big. They were incredible.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. I have to say Carolina Diner is really, really good. I like it. It's not too far from where I live, so we've been there. But I love scrambled.
Oh,
See,
yes.
Scrambled. Everyone keeps saying that, but the wait is so long.
So worth it.
I haven't been able to
worth
go yet, but I've seen the pictures on Instagram and Facebook.
And that big skillet when they bring it out to
French
your
toast, it looked amazing.
I love breakfast.
I might have to go this weekend.
Me too. I could eat breakfast all day. Well, I cook it for dinner all the time.
So do we. It's so good.
So, favorite breakfast food then? What do you like? I like omelets. That's like
That's a tough one.
Waffles.
Really?
I would have to say French toast, but I do love a nice breakfast sandwich though.
I do too. I make those at home. I'll do an over easy egg with cheese on a bagel and then toast the bagel. That is so good.
I really like any kind of like Mexican themed
breakfast.
breakfast.
Like chorizo and like an omelet or something.
Yeah, I like that kind of
that's
stuff
really
too.
good. Or the breakfast burritos.
I'm just making myself even more hungry.
We always end up talking about food on the 4 to 5.
What I was about to say is we could talk about tires that are on sale and we'll end up back
talking about
food.
You know, that one time I was on my way to the tire shop
and I passed by a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And I got a bagel. Let's talk about that, shall we? That is what we do. All right, we're going to take a short break and we're coming right back. Stay there.
Every time.
An aquarium in Florida is mourning the loss of its beloved dolphin, Winter. Winter was a 16-year-old Atlantic bottlenose dolphin made famous by the Dolphin Tale movie franchise. Winter was rescued in 2005 on the east coast of Florida by a fisherman who saw her trapped in a rope of crab trap. Winter was taken to the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, where caretakers learned the rope of the trap was wrapped so tightly around her tail it cut off all blood circulation to her tail flukes. Winter healed without her tail flukes and learned to swim side to side until a team created a prosthetic tail for her to use. The dolphin died after fighting a gastrointestinal infection. One of our team members had the pleasure of meeting Winter several years ago and learned how deep Winter's impact was on the nation. Turns out the formula used for Winter's gel prosthetic tail was later used for human amputees and veterans. That is so
It's a
sweet.
great story. I mean, I hate that because I saw this on social media this morning, and I remember that story, you know, the dolphin's tail, and I just, it's funny how that moved everybody today among all the horrible news that's going on in the world, and then we have this and people react to it, and I think it's good. It keeps us all kind of centered on what's really important. You know?
It's something about animals and
It
babies
is.
and things like that that just bring everybody together, no matter what side you're on or what your beliefs are. We can all agree, you know, this is a sad thing.
Well, it's like we all were fighting for Winter, you know, to be able to have this prosthetic tail. We were fighting for her, and so it's just hard whenever you see, you know, this kind of storyline in this way. I mean, obviously death is imminent for all of us, but it's just hard, and it's sad, and it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to grieve.
But the beauty in this was the prosthetic, you know, legs
That's
and
right.
things that were used for veterans and things of that. So, I mean, it's a tragedy, but some good did come out of the situation.
Very good, very good. We'll keep that in our hearts today. That's what you do. All right, let's talk about our forecast to see what's happening with this. And, you know, we're okay. I mean, we're looking at some cooler air moving in, but it's that time of the year, isn't it? Yes, it is November. We have to remember that. Let's look at these readings. 66 in the Triad right now. Asheville at 63. Just saw Atlanta, because this is live streaming information. That just ticked down from 67 to 66. And Lexington, Kentucky's in the 40s right now at 49 degrees. Hour by hour tonight, dropping into the upper 40s by probably 11 o'clock or so. Notice the little moon icon here all the way along. That means clear skies heading into the next 24 hours, really. Even our Saturday's looking good. It will get cold, though, for Saturday night into Sunday morning. Here's our 7 days. We take a look at some of the numbers here. 33 Sunday morning. That is a cold way to start your day. 55 with sunshine on Sunday. 52 Monday, the coldest day of the week. And next week, another warm-up. 56 Tuesday with sun. 63 Wednesday, and 67 by Thursday.
H7 and H8.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear me? 1, 2.
I cannot hear Lauren. No.
I can't hear myself. 1, 2. I think I can now.
My mic check. Give Lauren
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. 1, 2. Oh, okay.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thanks.
check out the incredible colors on this tree in Greensboro. It's one of my favorites this time of year, and I'll explain why in just a bit. The reds and the oranges really pop out for about a week or two. I took this photo on Tuesday at its absolute peak. Now, I took this next photo last Friday when the colors hadn't developed as much, but still great to look at. And I took this last one about a week and a half ago when the colors first started to come out. I love to see these pictures side by side to really appreciate the development over the course of a week or so. You might have seen this tree if you've driven along Summit Avenue near Textile Drive. I pass it every day on my way to work. Obviously, the colors are what makes this tree great, but there's another reason this is one of my favorites. To explain the reason, you need to see the bigger picture. Now, it's easy to notice this tree is lopsided in a major way. It looks as though utility workers cut away the left half of the tree to keep it from interfering with the power lines that run along Summit. Now, it's possible it's been that way for a while. This tree is basically missing half of its limbs, yet it's still one of the most magnificent around. And that's the lesson here. None of us are perfect. We are far from it. We've all got our flaws or our blemishes, but it's how we shine through those imperfections that makes the biggest statement. That's just my 2 cents, and you're 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
We begin with breaking news right now on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock. Part of US 52 North in Forsyth County is closed after a deadly crash. You're looking at pictures from the Winston-Salem Fire Department. This happened just after 3 o'clock this afternoon near exit 108.